our non-17025 PM process. Here we are going to cover the non-17025 PM process and specifically the csis method. Calibration is nothing more than simply the comparison of the known test weight to the indicated readings. Adjustment is the actual process of removing as much error as practical. So now we're moving on to the general PM process. And the way we'd like to see this practiced is upon getting your work order, review it. Make sure that you got all the green stickers that are necessary and verify that you have smarter certs assigned to you. And part of the work order review is making sure that you got the correct contact information for the customer. Call and prep the customer for your arrival. By doing so, you verify that the contact information is correct on the work order. Advise that you'd like to meet up with them and review some of the potential problems or concerns that they may have had since your last visit. Provide an estimated time of arrival. That's pretty common. And if you're unable to reach them by phone and you're not able to get an updated number from your service coordinator or whoever dispatched you, go ahead and shoot an email to the email that you have on the work order as well, and copy in your service coordinator and your operations manager, and just let them know, hey, you tried to reach them by phone. Let them know that you're en route to their location, and make sure that they have a number to reach your service coordinator on. Okay, arrival. Meet with your contact. Ask them some questions like how their equipment's been performing since the last visit, and make sure that they understand that the service that they're getting. Ask them if they've got any questions about the services that you provide. This again is another opportunity for you to talk a little bit more about what you're doing there. Add value to the service that they're receiving. Explain to them and let them know that you'd like to adjust as close as possible and as practical as possible to center of zero. Perform a pre-walk. Take 2, identify 3, and prevent all. Do a good safety analysis of the entire facility as you're walking through. The entire facility that's relevant to where you're going to be performing your services. Verify all the Smart Asserts information while you're going through your walkthrough. Kind of plan out your path. Make sure that you don't see any devices that are beat up and scraped up. If you do, this is an opportunity for you before you grab your weight, so to stop and talk to your customer, your contact, and be, hey, the scale over there, it's pretty banged up. Did you know it was like that? Do you want me to do anything with it? I can initiate a service repair ticket with the service coordinator, and she can contact you and let you know if we're going to be able to provide the service at the end of this PM service today. And our next step is calibrate to the applicable method. Today I would like to express the lack of importance of this graph when considering a csis test method. So when we see a graph like this, we tend to think, wow, that scale could be way off. But what we don't realize, and what they don't explain to us a lot of times, or put it into perspective for us, is that on the industrial side, the ideal reading here is going to be, well, exactly what we see on the display. At 2,500 pound test load, our 5,000 pound floor scale is not going to show any deviation from the ideal linear path. You see, the hysteresis is very minute if set up according to the manufacturer's specs and without bind. If you're worried about the linearity of the scale, or if the customer is worried about the linearity of their scale, well, they're probably not using the correct method. First thing we're going to do with csis is perform our shift test. I don't really need to go into depth on this, but it's basically the same pattern as we would use in Handbook 44. Anything less than 8,000 pounds, we do want to make sure we're using the quadrants. On floor scales, it's completely fine to just put them directly, the test weights that you're using, directly over the load bearing points, the 4 load cells. So putting that small amount of weight that we're using directly over those load cells is better than simply using the quadrants. Next, the increasing load test.